On the last Monday Night Raw before a massive Saturday night's main event, CM Punk and Jey Uso come face to face. A busy night for the Judgment Day, a massive title defense for the women's tag team champions. Jey Uso is on the podcast. This is the Raw Recap, a WWE and Fanatics original production. Well, here we are again, Megan Morant. Fancy seeing you here.
Oh, wouldn't you know it? A Monday night in the basement studio. Here we are.
We've got a lot to recap.
Of course we do.
Here on the
Big
Raw
week.
Recap. Huge week, and it's only just starting. Who knows? Everywhere I go, I'm watching people's footprints walk up and down hallways that I'm trying to discover.
Been
But
looking at feet all day too.
well, what else is new? But I'll tell you what I was looking at. I was looking at a Jey Uso, who I feel like has been very complicated on this road to Saturday night's main event. And it's really interesting because Jey Uso, for whatever reason, it always feels like he's fighting an uphill battle. Even though in every arena he goes to, the audience is completely on his side. Whether it's an uphill battle to prove, yes, he was the right person to win the Royal Rumble, or it was an uphill battle to prove, yes, he belongs in a World Heavyweight Championship match at a WrestleMania, or if it's an uphill battle to prove, yes, he's had to fight his way back to being in the world title picture, to wrestling in a match against CM Punk for the vacated World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. There's always something that feels uphill about the battle that Jey Uso is fighting, but frankly, maybe that's where Jey Uso's at his best.
Yeah, it always seems like people are doubting Jey Uso. They were doubting him after he won the Royal Rumble, as you pointed out. They were doubting him when he became World Heavyweight Champion. He loses the championship. He reinserts himself back into the World Heavyweight Championship picture. He wins this Battle Royal, and people once again are doubting Jey Uso. CM Punk questioning how far Jey Uso is willing to take it, which I think in the Battle Royal, he proved that he's willing to go as far as it takes.
And then he's willing to run it back as well.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think CM Punk is playing a lot of mind games, okay? You know, first of all, CM Punk is not accidentally, repeatedly referring to him as Little Roman.
No.
Little Roman is as unflattering a nickname as much as I would want to be compared to the OTC, to the original and only tribal chief. Little Roman is not complimentary. It's as bad as it gets. And CM Punk knows this. And CM Punk is not asking, I don't think, is not asking Jey Uso, how far are you willing to go to get an answer? He's asking Jey Uso so that hopefully for CM Punk, Jey Uso starts asking himself, am I willing to go that far? Because there have been periods of time in Jey Uso's career where he has doubted himself, where he has doubted if he is that guy. And I think that's the guy that CM Punk wants.
And there were no doubts in Jey Uso's mind of where he belonged in the Battle Royal because he eliminated LA Knight and his brother Jimmy Uso. That's a confident Jey Uso. CM Punk wants to get back in Jey Uso's head.
That's right.
Where he has him questioning, who do I listen to? How far do I have to take this? Is this against what I believe in?
Why do you think that is? You know, I mean, Jey said it himself on Raw tonight. Everybody and a mama is in Jey Uso's ear. Jey said that's what he's dealing with. I can't imagine. Do you know how angry I would be if people were literally following me around, some in my family, some my coworkers, saying, Sam, you know what you should do? Sam, you know what you should do? I go, you know what I should do is stop talking to any of you. And Jey made reference to that on Raw, talking about how maybe his circle is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I don't know if it's that there are people in the WWE that remember the bloodline and think that they can manipulate Jey the way Roman manipulated Jey, and they can get into Jey's head the way Roman got into Jey's head. But they're not Big Uso. They're not his family. They're not that family member that Jey looks up to, that put food on the table for the entire family. To just walk around as if Jey needs instructions when he's the one. People were critical of Jey Uso's title reign, right? Because he only held the title for 50 days or whatever. How long did CM Punk hold the World Heavyweight title for? 5 minutes. That's a lot less than 50 days. So this idea that Jey Uso needs advice from everybody, I think is not well-founded. And you can see it in Jey Uso's eyes. You can see it that this is not that guy that doubted anything. And I feel like he's probably resentful of even the implication that he might need guidance or any sort of protection from self-doubt that he's not suffering from.
Well, you have to think it really wasn't that long ago that we were all shocked that Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble.
Sure.
And it really wasn't that long ago that Jey Uso himself was doubting whether he belonged in the main event picture.
All
heading
this
into
year.
WrestleMania.
All this year.
Wasn't long ago.
Right.
So now he faces a veteran who's accomplished just about everything there is to accomplish in this business in CM Punk. And CM Punk looks at someone like Jey Uso and says, well, it wasn't that long ago that he was doubting himself. Let's see if I can get back in his head.
I mean, I think what we haven't really explored about this Saturday night's main event match is that CM Punk has made it really clear that, like, he accomplished his career goal. He's main evented WrestleMania. But the thing that he hasn't done, and he got a taste of at SummerSlam for, I mean, like I said, 5 minutes, is to be that guy, to be the world heavyweight champion. CM Punk wants to tell this story of the guy who nobody thought would ever be back in WWE. And when he was back in WWE, everybody counted him out. Everybody said, well, this won't last long. This guy's going to self-destruct. The locker room this. We've heard about that.
Well, just wait.
And it's like, boom. Now, 2 years almost. We're approaching 2 years later. And there's not even a hint of self-destruction. There's not even a hint of anything except top guyness out of CM Punk. The only thing that keeps him away from there is that he hasn't been the top guy. He hasn't had a reign as world heavyweight champion. And I think I think that when you look at what happened at the beginning of Raw and the position that CM Punk has found himself in, Punk wants this world heavyweight title more than anything right now. It's the thing he hasn't done. He's gotten to wrestle with his wife. He's gotten to main event WrestleMania. He's gotten to do all of it. But he hasn't had the opportunity to hold that title, not win, hold that title and carry that title. And I think that that's what CM Punk is working for at Saturday night's main event.
But Jey Uso has held that title before and wants to prove that he belongs and wants to not just be a guy who had a title reign, wants to be a consistent guy who's in the main event picture.
That's right. CM Punk has also held titles before, but it's been a really long time. And I think that while Jey Uso wants to continue to be the guy, I think CM Punk wants to prove that he's still got it. I mean, look at CM Punk's peers. The ones that are left are all retiring. The ones that are still in the game are either retiring this year or they're retiring next year or whatever it is. The one guy who's not on a retirement tour and has no date in mind for when he's going to stop is CM Punk, because CM Punk still has work to do. I think CM Punk, more than anything, wants to be a champion in this era. I think if anybody can appreciate the era that we're in, it's CM Punk, because he's seen all the different eras. And I would imagine that CM Punk has been in very few locker rooms that have the sort of star power and skill level that the WWE locker room has right now. I think that's a locker room that CM Punk wants to lead. I think that's a locker room that CM Punk wants to be a top guy in. I also think that it's as competitive a locker room, and it's only getting more competitive. And I think that maybe that's because, we're still in the afterglow. And again, approaching, it's been about a year and a half since Roman Reigns lost the championship. And I know it's not the World Heavyweight Championship, it's the WWE Championship, but regardless, Roman Reigns had a stranglehold on everything. And when that went away, you saw the level of competition rise up, because now it's anybody's game. And I think that's a real life thing. I think that people know that there's room to be that guy and there's movement in the WWE. And I also think that that shows itself on television. When you look at the fact that, traditionally in a lot of eras, the thing about, the quote unquote good guys and the quote unquote bad guys is the two sides kind of get along. Mm-hmm. The good guys kind of get along with each other. But in this space that we're in right now,
not the case at all.
The good guys, none of the good guys like each other.
No.
Like, I don't recall, especially when you're like, what's on the horizon just past Saturday night's main event is War Games, and I can't come up with 5 people who get along, let alone another 5 for them to face.
I can't either.
It's a remarkable time, but that's all to say, I think that level of skill, star power, and competition, I think, is the locker room that CM Punk wants to be in charge of, not as I think I got one more in me, but to say, I'm still the man, even with this as the competition around me, and even with the miles that I've got on me, I'm still the man.
Now, let me ask you this. What do you think CM Punk's confidence level is heading in to this World Heavyweight Championship match now that Seth Rollins is out of the picture?
I think extremely high.
Because Seth, is crucial in preventing CM Punk from becoming a World Heavyweight Champion.
Give me one example.
Well,
you're 100% right, obviously. No, I think the fact that yet maybe he has to worry about like what's going on outside less, I think probably increases his confidence a lot. I think that there's a possibility that he's too confident. I think there's a possibility that he's already telling the story of CM Punk being the World Heavyweight Champion and underestimating the person that he's in the ring with. I think that's possible. But to answer your question, I think it might be one of the first times that CM Punk has been in this position that we may actually be looking at a fair fight without somebody lingering. Mm-hmm. Look, we know that the Vision has their sights set on this. We saw it happen tonight, But what's interesting about this version of the Vision is that a lot of times, and this happened in the Bloodline too, it felt like the work that Paul Heyman was doing was happening behind the scenes, and it would unfold itself as these storylines unfolded. Tonight, we watched Paul Heyman work. We watched him explain. We usually don't get as literal of an explanation when he explains to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, because I think a lot of fans were going, why wouldn't the Vision just go in and interrupt this? Why would the Vision not just, kill everybody in the Battle Royal? And then we saw Braun Breaker asking the same question. Why wouldn't we just kill everybody in the Battle Royal? And Paul Heyman completely spelled it out. Because Adam Pearce already had an axe to grind, because this, because that, because this would lead to here. But if we can lead to there, then we've got a clear path. And we make the match, and it's Braun Breaker versus LA Knight. And I thought 2 ways about this. Number one, great match. I think that, anybody could see what is so special about Braun Breaker. Mm-hmm. Just those moments where he speeds up, those are my favorite moments. When Braun Breaker decides it's time to speed up and just goes, I think it's amazing. But I think we might be so distracted by the speed of Braun Breaker that we're missing the athleticism of LA Knight, and his ability to do those high jumps, to go from the floor to the top rope, is insane. Great finish to the match with LA Knight coming off the top rope, Braun Breaker moving, LA Knight rolling through, again, going back to the athleticism, but the speed and the power.
And the timing of the spear.
Oh, the timing is beautiful.
Perfect execution. This is a massive win for Braun Breaker, arguably one of the biggest wins of his career.
Well, it puts him in direct contention.
Yeah, this is LA Knight, who just pinned Seth Rollins
not too long ago.
This is LA Knight, who's, he's been a United States champion for a long period of time. He's been in a main event match against Roman Reigns. This is
well, and I think it's even
wins in Braun Breaker's career.
And I think it's even bigger in the immediate, because LA Knight straight up said, I'm coming for whoever wins the title. And he called his shot, and Braun Breaker beat him. I think that if you listen to Paul Heyman's speech leading into this match, if you listen to what LA Knight is saying, clearly this victory is the Vision's way of saying Braun Breaker is the guy who has next. But I am so glad, because there will be LA Knight fans that watch this and go, I can't believe, you let LA Knight get this far. Why can't LA Knight just make it the rest of the way? Like what, a lot of times when LA Knight loses these big matches, a lot of fans are going, you have to be kidding me. Just this is the guy. I think it's really important to listen to the words that LA Knight said before this match, which is he doesn't know how to quit. He never learned. And I think that applies to what we saw.
And that's the entire story of LA Knight, even before he came to WWE.
He doesn't quit because he doesn't know how. He never learned. And this idea that, Braun Breaker got this victory tonight, it doesn't spell larger defeat for LA Knight whatsoever. I think LA Knight is still right there in contention. It just wasn't his night, pardon the pun.
You intended that.
Well, yeah, but I just said pardon it. Like, if you don't like it. You know what? Tough. I'll say that. Deal with it.
Okay, I'm dealing with it right now.
Well, I also want you to deal with the fact that Jey Uso is on the show.
Oh, let's go.
He's standing by. We're going to interview Jey Uso right after this. Guys, we'll get right back to it, but I want to tell you this message is sponsored by Raycon. I love these Raycon earbuds. It's Raycon's anniversary, and what better way to celebrate Raycon and their anniversary than with a deal on the Everyday Earbuds Classic. Yes, they're now 20% off, which makes it the perfect time to get your hands on these. They're reliable, they're comfortable, they're easy to take anywhere. You'll see why they've been a fan favorite since day one. These Raycon earbuds, I mean, they come in so many different cool colors. They come in like the blush violet color, the cool mint color. It starts to feel like more of an accessory, right? They feel like they're yours. They're not just your everyday average earbuds. No. These are the classics, okay? It's a whole vibe. There's a quick charge. 10 minutes of charge is going to give you 90 minutes of playtime, and it feels like these things last forever. Up to 32 hours of battery life with the Case F. Awareness mode, which is perfect for when I'm walking the dog, when I'm running errands, so I stay tuned into what's happening around me, but I never miss a beat. Plus, over 3 million customers already love Raycons, and they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee. So if you don't love them, returns are easy, so you have nothing to lose. I couldn't recommend them more. Go to buyraycon.com/raw recap to get 20% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic. That's buyraycon.com/raw recap and get your 20% off. Let's give it up right now. Our first guest on the Raw Recap, ladies and gentlemen, he's back on the show, getting ready for Saturday night's main event. Main event, Jey Uso. Jey, how are you feeling, man?
Feeling good, Us. You know what I'm saying? Just wrapping up Raw, Anaheim, California, man. We out on the west side. Seeing my pops today, man, so it's a good day.
It sounds like a good day. I think back to when you did the show right after you won the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania, and standing with you, coming right out of Gorilla and talking to you as the dream had become a reality, and you were holding that championship and you were taking it all in that moment, and there was maybe a joyfulness about you that I feel like, as much as the entrance stays the same, as much as the kids are still into it, as much as those yeet glasses stay on your face, that joyfulness that we've been used to in Jey Uso hasn't really been a part of what you've been doing for a couple months now. When did that change?
I mean, nothing really changed on me, Us. Mm-hmm. I still have fun. I still throw a party every Monday. I still like the kids, man. I still yeet with them. Mm-hmm. It's just, man, when the bell rings, I just got to switch modes now, man. If I'm trying to get back to the top, I got big hitters in front of me. I got guys like, man, CM Punk, the guy like Gunther, guys like, the Seth Rollins, get well, Loose, but like, I got a heavy list in front of me, and I just can't play no more, man. I'm tired of like people saying I'm just an entrance or whatever. It was like I ain't got skills to hold it down up top, man. So I just switch modes, Zeus. Like I don't, man, it might be going back to the old ways, thinking, bloodline ways, but man, I that kind of mentality got the job done.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we talked to your brother a few weeks back about the same thing. That, like, I don't know. It feels like people talk about Jey Uso acting more like Roman Reigns as if it's a bad thing, but Roman Reigns had the most dominant, longest reigning world heavyweight title run of all time, and not only that, but everybody that was around Roman Reigns, yourself included, are still to this day in a better position because of being around Roman Reigns. But at the same time, Jey Uso didn't always see eye to eye with Roman Reigns. I think the only reason that you became the singles breakout that you became is because you were the first one to leave. You were the one that left the bloodline. You were the one that quit SmackDown. You were the one that came and truly did your own thing. And I feel like that was kind of the first test in, what is does Jey Uso have what it takes without the bloodline? And obviously that passed with flying colors. So what is it, even though you were able to do that, and even though you were able to win the World Heavyweight title, and even though you were able to do all of it, what is the thing that's made you kind of double back and go, you know what? It's in a different position, but maybe there are things about that era that made sense for me.
Man, I like that era. It was like that's where the main event character was born from.
Mm-hmm.
Take no prisoners, man. I was right hand man for a reason. I do got that dog in me, man. If it needed to be come out, I let it out, man. I just felt like how you said, it was everything that you named off. Winning the heavyweight world championship, man. Going out on my own, succeeding, man. Being a top guy, being a big hitter on Monday Night Raw. Man, I still feel like I ain't got my flowers, Zeus. Like I still feel like I'm still trying to prove myself. I'm tired of everybody talking down on my name, man. I go hard every single week, man. Every week you see it, man. You see what I bring to the table, man. And I feel like I'm still getting looked over. Still getting disrespected, man. And that's just gonna stop. Don't let these bright colors, don't let it fool you, because I get down, man. CM Punk asking me how far I'm gonna go, what I'm willing to do. Come on, man. Y'all seen my story. I run through my own family to get to the top two now, because I understand what it takes. So I'm just out for respect now.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I think that that a lot of people got lost in the party in looking at you and who you were and what you did, and that did kind of become the criticism of Jey Uso. And I mean, even now, the discourse amongst wrestling fans that Jey Uso needs to change this, Jey Uso needs to change that, except every single time you show up on television and every single time you show up in an arena, everybody is going nuts. Like, clearly it's working. And I think that that's true. I think that there is an inability to acknowledge, for lack of a better term, what you're doing and also what you've done. There was a moment where it looked like we were going to have a Jimmy and Jey Uso reunion. And as a fan of the Usos, that's something that I got excited about. The idea that, like, you and Jimmy being together at this point in your careers, where the Usos goes from being, the most decorated tag team of all time, arguably, to a super team, where you and Jimmy are now these giant singles stars that have come together to form a super team that is still the Usos. And it seemed like it was going there for a second, and then it all kind of drifted away. Did you ever have an intention of getting back into that tag team, or what was it that made you decide that wasn't the move?
Man, I'm never gonna say no to Jimmy. Like, I'm never gonna deny my brother of being one of the greatest tag teams of all time. I would love to run it back, being super team, as you call it, Us. But man, I think we got unfinished business in this singles game right here. I think we still got a lot to prove. I want to see I want to see Big Jim get his title shot, man. I know it's lurking around there. Whether it be SmackDown or Raw, my brother's gonna get one. I'm happy for him to just be on that route too, man. But I'm telling you, once he get a taste of what it is, being like a singles star, man, and being a singles champion, man, it hit different, man. The money go up, the all the commercials go up. You know what I'm saying? Everything goes up. Uh, so I just I still feel like I got some things to prove um in my own journey right now.
Life changes when you become a champion in WWE, and you know that firsthand because when it happened to you, but then also you watched what happened to your cousin Roman Reigns throughout his dominant reign. You become a champion, world heavyweight champion. Roman comes back, and it is immediately evident how your relationship with Roman Reigns changed during that time. How would you describe the way that your cousin Roman Reigns treats you now that you've been a world heavyweight champion and now that you're back in the mix to get that title back?
He see me now. You know what I'm saying? It was equals now. He did teach me the game, man. I was a student to him. You know what I'm saying? It was like I sat on the learning tree all of COVID. I was there like front row, man. Had my ticket just learning the game, man. Learning from Big Uso and learning from the wise man. Oh, me and Roman got a love-hate relationship. Like y'all can tell, man. But respect between us is there now. So he's still Big Uso. He's still my tribal chief, man. There'll never be another tribal chief to Jey Uso, but Roman Reigns.
I think 2025 has been a pretty extraordinary year for you and a pretty wild story if you really look at it. Because the whole first half of the year was a conversation about whether or not Jey Uso should even be considered in that world heavyweight title picture. We had you on. We talked about it. That was this narrative. And I find the fact that this is playing itself out on television now, the idea that what you just said before we were talking about Roman Reigns, what you said about how life changes when you're the world champion and that title goes away from you, but it doesn't sound like you're interested in going back to what life was like before you were world champion. It sounds to me like instead of living in this space where it's like, well, gee, I don't know if I could ever be world champion. Now you're like, no. I won that title and I won the Royal Rumble and I won it at WrestleMania. And just because I lose one match, just because I lose the title doesn't mean that story's over. If anything, it seems like you've leveled up and the fight for you now is staying in that space.
Hell yeah, I ain't going nowhere, man. Like I want to fight Gunther again. Gunther made me better, man. The Seth Rollins made me better. It was like the Drew McIntyres made me better. It was coming to Raw by myself. I was going toe to toe with them every week. So they taught me the game on what it's like to stand on your own 2 feet too. So man, I belong here. You know what I'm saying? Like it took me a minute to even believe that myself, man. But I belong here, and then no one's gonna knock me off the top, man. They ain't see me coming, They ain't see me creeping on them the way I do, the way I am. I want them to see my entrance, I want them to feel the energy. I want all the internet people. I don't even know what y'all look like type, but when you come in these arenas, you're gonna feel the energy, and you're gonna be like, oh, this is why he's main event Jey Uso. Or if you don't even watch wrestling, I want them to be like, yo, who is this guy? This is my guy right here, eating with babies. I want to choose him.
Man, Jay, I will tell you that you're right. The internet is going to do what the internet is going to do, and people are going to say what people are going to say. But my 8-year-old son showed up at Trunk or Treat at his school over the weekend, and the only thing he wanted to be for Halloween was main event Jey Uso, and he showed up in his neon green with his glasses on, with his hat on. He needed the arm warmers. He needed everything. And the minute anybody said, and I'll tell you the minute anybody said, who are you? He said, he looked at him like crooked. He said Jey Uso. He said yeet. And then he held, you know what he held up? The World Heavyweight Championship. He walked around with his World Heavyweight Championship because, you know, I mean, I think that's the effect you have on him. That's the effect you have on a lot of people. And watching this journey for you has been remarkable. Do you spend any time thinking in your head, man, I remember that kid who showed up in the WWE wearing neon surfer shorts with face paint on the side of his head, that nobody could tell the difference between him and his brother. The fact that kid is now this legit main event, world title, top draw, top money maker in the WWE. Do you think about that journey, or when you're in this stage of the game, is being reflective really not part of it?
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. You got to remember where you came from, you know, where you started, man. I look at it, it makes me smile too, because if I really want to rap, I look at my wrestling career and, you know, me and my brother's wrestling career together, hell no, I would have never thought I'd be like this. You know, I never thought I'd be like this. I just stuck to the code, man, because we love wrestling. It raises, put food on our table, Lou. So I'll always respect the business and always give it all I got. Like, I'll always get back. I'll get back to the younger homies in the locker room. I spit game to them. Life on the road. You know what I'm saying, Luce? All these miles, just everything, man. It's all worth it, though. It's all worth it. I think if you give your all to this business, Luce, it'll be good back to you. You just got to stick to the script. You got to stay in the fight, man. It's a marathon, Luce. I say it all the time. Man, it's a marathon. Your time will come, Luce. You just gotta be real with this game, man. And to answer your question, Luce, I'm just blessed that like I still have my brothers around me. I still got family around me. Don't even feel like work sometimes, Luce. So really am blessed, man, to come here and just work. Like, man, I got great people in my life, man, around me, Luce. I got a good team, keep me straight, man. Just sky's the limit, man. I just want to ride till the wheels fall off, because one day I know the rides are gonna stop.
Last question before we let you go, because we know you got champion stuff to do. Did becoming the world, you know, we always have champions on the show, and they talk about how on one level there's being the champion on television and having these main event matches, but the reality is being a world champion is a different kind of pressure. Being a world champion has different kind of battles, and those are real battles. Those can go on backstage. Those can go on within yourself. Those can go on with the locker room. Those can go on however. In your experience of being world heavyweight champion for the first time, did it change you in a real way?
Yeah. It's like a double-edged sword, dude, because I thought I made it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got the big title at WrestleMania, those 52 days or 51 days was like almost the most, you know, like intimidating, like ain't fun, ain't anxious, man, because you just you just get thrown into the fire, and don't even know what's kind of going on until you know you're in it. But there's a sense of like some big dog on you walking around here, you know, amongst the boys. So I like that feeling of being number one, you know, with my peers. It's just a feeling that you can't describe until you got it. Sense of pressure for sure. But that workload, I thought I was working a lot, man. The workload double up, which is all good because, man, that's what champions supposed to do. Media, all the side stuff, say no to nothing, man. Once I had the title loose, I wanted to do every and anything, all the commercials, all the Make-A-Wish, everything, bro. Give it to me, man. I wanted to take man, I just wanted to learn from Cena, man. I wanted to be like what a big super baby face is supposed to be. that's why I got the bright colors too. It's like I've never steered from it, just learning from them all, man. But yeah, it was definitely want to get back to the damn top.
That's awesome, man. We can't wait to see it. Saturday night's main event. You, Punk, for the vacated World Heavyweight Championship. I love that you're back in the spot, and I hope you get 51 more days. I hope you get more than that. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate you making the time.
Much.
Come on, let's appreciate y'all. Yeet.
I mean, how do you not get behind Jey Uso?
It's tough, right?
Yeah.
He's so fun to root for.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the entrance is a blast. The vibe is immaculate, as the kids say. But really, it's just, I thought we were having fun with Jey Uso from the Royal Rumble until WrestleMania. But he's transformed again, and he's constantly having to prove himself. And as a Jey Uso believer myself,
yeah, right.
I want to get behind that guy.
I hope so. Because I see a lot of these people out here in these streets, maybe present company included. Oh, maybe Jey Uso's going to turn. Oh, maybe Jey Uso's really a villain. Oh, what if Jey Uso's for the children? Okay. And I loved his explanation. And he said it about being the babyface. I'm going to wear the bright colors. I'm going to yeet with the kids. I'm going to do all this regardless of what they say, even to rub it in their face, right? I'm not going to stop doing this. He said it. But maybe it does come time. And this is what people were asking for.
Do you blame people for questioning that Jey Uso made turn, though, after what he did to his brother? Can't you?
What did he do?
Eliminated him from the Battle Royal?
No, not in an every man for himself Battle Royal for the number one contendership for the world title. No, you mean the Battle Royal where they literally had a conversation with each other that said, we will eliminate each other? No, of all the dastardly, villainous things. What did he do next? Tie him up to a train track and tweedle his mustache?
Oh, I'm sorry. You just throw your brother over the top rope?
Let me tell you something. If it's for
number one, if it came down to the two of you, I understand it. There were more than two people left in the ring when he eliminated his brother, who saved him twice, by the way.
Oh, what a nice guy. If it's for the World Heavyweight Championship number one contendership, I'm throwing out my brother at 18. Okay? If it's a 20-man battle royal, I'll let him, have his fun in there. But 18, he's gone. Okay? That's just another elimination for me. This isn't a tag team situation. And by the way, oh, well, why didn't you wait? Who won the Battle Royal?
Jay.
Okay, well, clearly it was a good strategy.
Listen, I don't shame anybody for speculating wildly about the potential.
I can never shame anybody for that.
Jey Uso turning.
He's wearing neon green and dancing with the children. I mean, it's Hogan in the 80s. I mean, it's not, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where these people are getting this from,
People want to be surprised. People want to be ahead of the curve.
No. I think people want to watch the world burn. That's what I think. I think people don't want to have nice things.
Wow.
That's what I think. I think, us wrestling fans are so used to not being able to have nice things that we want to burn it down before they do. And we can have nice things. And Jey Uso's a nice thing.
Listen,
and everybody said he needed to get more serious. So what did he do?
He kept
the yeeting. He kept the running back. And then once the bell rings, he's a little bit more serious. And then everybody's like, oh, he's a villain.
There were a couple weeks there he went to just black T-shirts, but now we're back to neon.
Yeah, but it still said fun slogans on the front of the black T-shirts. Monday Night Raw, 4 letters, 1 word. Fun stuff. I'll tell you what. Speaking of shirts, I mean, my wardrobe keeps growing and growing and growing because of shirts like this. There's a new Penta shirt. Penta had a hell of a night on Monday Night Raw. There's a new Penta shirt. You know Penta? Cero Miedo?
Oh, I know him.
Cero Miedo. Penta's got a brand new portrait tee that's available right now on WWE Shop. While you're there, you can check out his replica Lucha mask that's only available at WWE Shop and Fanatics. You should go as Penta for Halloween.
I'm thinking about it.
You should definitely do it.
It was a big day yesterday, National Tight Ends Day. George Kittle, known Penta fan.
Yeah, he's got
incredible touchdown. He did the Cero Miedo.
He's got a custom colors Penta mask.
Our producer says that National Tight Ends Day is not a real day.
Well, I don't celebrate it. It's not celebrated in the Roberts household.
But National Penta Day would be.
Are you kidding me? I mean, that's pretty much every day. That's pretty. Every time I walk down the steps in the morning, I'm strutting down the steps like Penta. It's every day is National Penta Day. But that's why I got the Lucha mask. That's why I got the signature T-shirt, and they're all available at WWE Shop and Fanatics. You know, Penta, big night on Raw, part of the night that kept the Judgment Day. Very, very busy. And I mean, I've got to tell you, the Dom hate that is happening on Monday Night Raw from the commentary team that includes Joe, Tess, Itor, and Wade Barrett, but more Joe Tess. The Judgment Day themselves, Finn Balor, JD, all of them, it's starting to, they're coming across foolish with the Dominic hate.
The commentary team is.
Everybody with Dominic hate is right now. Because, I mean, it's like all this guy does is win, and the audience reciprocates for him. And they're like, oh, this guy, he cheats too much. This guy does this guy does that. And it's like, he's literally the most successful person in the WWE. I've never seen anything like it before. And we're not acknowledging that. I don't know why.
I don't think they're just pointing out the way that he wins.
Oh.
You just don't want them to point it out.
Where does Eddie Guerrero rank in the WWE, like in the pantheon? Pretty high? Would you say pretty high?
I would say pretty high.
Let me see. What he I know he lied. I know he stole. What was the other thing?
He cheated.
Okay. All right. That's in Dom's blood, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like we respect this with everybody except Dominic Mysterio. Bro, when the Judgment Day was sitting there being like, Dominic, we're not going to have your back, you could hear Anaheim chanting, dirty, dirty Dom. It's like, can you imagine being like telling your friend, hey, we don't want you, we're not going to have your back. Meanwhile, there's literally 10,000 people singing his name. I feel like in that moment,
person in the Judgment Day who has gold,
and he's got double gold.
Yeah.
Okay, mega super gold. Can you imagine though? I mean, I feel like even if I planned on like being like, I'm not going to be on your side, when 10,000 people start singing, I'm probably going to go, I forget what I was going to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, all right, maybe I'm wrong about this one.
But I do understand why Finn Balor and JD McDonough are frustrated with Dominic.
Why? Okay, tell me.
Because they were not looking ahead to defending those titles.
You like it when people defend their titles.
I do like it.
Okay.
But Finn and JD, they weren't looking for a title match.
Okay, well.
They're champions. They wanted to hold on to those titles.
Okay, that's fine.
And Dom was in a conversation with Adam Pearce. Dragon Lee and AJ Styles happened to be standing by.
Okay.
And Dominic inadvertently
Right.
served up an idea.
Inadvertent, though. Even you'll admit that.
I did say it was inadvertent, but, you know, he was there and Finn and JD weren't there. And all of a sudden, Dom comes back and has to tell them that they have to defend their titles.
But, I mean, how long are you going to hold a grudge for something inadvertent like that?
They lost their titles.
No. He didn't lose their titles.
Dom didn't lose their titles, but Finn and JD lost their titles in a match they never wanted to have, but they had to have the match because of Dom.
Well, they probably should have won it then. You know who was in the match?
AJ Styles and Dragon Lee.
Who has Dominic Mysterio beaten?
AJ Styles
and
Dragon Lee.
So, I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? He beat AJ Styles twice, okay? What are we talking about here? And then, then Finn Balor goes, you cheat to win your matches. It's too much. You cheat to win your matches, right? Mm-hmm. And then he hits Sheamus in the ribs with a shillelagh. So JD McDonough wins after Finn Balor hits JD McDonough in the ribs with a shillelagh. I mean, come on, guys. Why are we ostracizing Dirty Dom? Why? All he does is win, no matter what. And it's not fair.
Well, he did have to take a phone call today, Dom.
I don't know who that was with, but it is
I think I have an idea.
Oh, who do you think?
Well,
I want to know. What's the gossip? Who do you think it is? Because I have no idea.
None.
No. I figured it was personal. Maybe Liv. I don't know. I figured it was personal.
No, I don't think it was Liv.
Oh.
No.
Who
I
do you
think
think
they keep those phone calls a little under wraps. If
Private.
You know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying.
Yeah,
so
they have a lot to talk about.
I'm sure. Who do you think it was?
I think, you know, he's talking to other luchadors.
I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Iguana.
Oh.
That'd be so cool. I think you're probably right. If I had Mr. Iguana's number, I would call
I'd call
Mr.
him.
Iguana.
Yeah, I
too.
would call him every day.
I'd be like, is Parker there? It's like, yeah, hold on a second.
I'd be like, how about Layeska? Put him on.
Yeah, yeah. So you think he was calling Mr. Iguana?
Exactly. Exactly right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, regardless of who he was calling, I don't think that had. I'm surprised you even brought that up. I don't think it has anything to do with tonight. But in other news separate
no,
from,
nothing to do at all with tonight.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless I'm missing something. Unless I have a blind spot, but I don't think. I usually don't.
Well, Grande Americano
Oh yeah,
got
yeah.
involved. Yeah.
Yeah. So did and so did
Bravo.
Rayo and Bravo.
Yeah.
Americano. Yeah, that was crazy, right? That they got involved.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Nuts.
Insane.
Can't believe they were there.
I didn't know that they were going to be there. I wonder if they have a personal, independent grudge.
I wonder if Dom knew they were going to be there.
Probably not. It looked like they had just seen each other in passing after the match. They interfere in the Rusev Penta match. And, you know, Adam Pearce, we love Adam Pearce. He's been on the show. He does have an axe to grind against Dominic Mysterio. He decides to make it a triple threat. And I don't know, for some reason, he acts like Dominic Mysterio is to blame for what the Americanos did. And he really, you know, even if he thinks that, he did not have evidence. So, you know.
But this is a tough spot for Dom now because he doesn't need to be pinned to lose his title.
No, triple threat. And Adam Pearce knew that. Triple threat does throw his champion's advantage out the window, which is very unfair. And you know, who knows what kind of dastardly stuff Penta and Rusev will be up to. Look, the good news is,
I love how you point out that it's unfair that his champion's advantage is thrown out the window, but it's not unfair at all that he cheats. It's just part of his strategy. That's just being smarter.
I think so. I think you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think that's a good observation.
But it's not fair that he lost his champion's advantage.
Which just doesn't seem justified. I don't know why Adam Pearce would do that unless he has an axe to grind. And if so, you know, to rule with personal feelings instead of what's right for the brand, that's just not something I would do. But I do think the good news is it's going to kick ass. Like Rusev and Penta and Dom together in a triple threat match, because I do think, on a serious note, that people forget that Dom is like an unbelievable wrestler.
It is true.
So like the idea of Penta and Rusev and Dom, which they all have three distinct styles, but they all also have styles that complement each other and styles that definitely have elements that match up. And the fact that we get this now at Saturday night's main event, I mean, it's going to be great. And honestly, I have faith that Dom is really smart. He's really good at plans.
Not worried in the least.
Yeah, because think about how many times Dirty Dominic Mysterio loses. Like never. So yeah, no, I'm not incredibly worried about that. No.
Okay.
He'll have a plan. He's muy inteligente, as they say in AAA. Very smart.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for translating for me.
Well, you know, I didn't want to leave you. I didn't want to leave you out there.
Thank you.
But that wasn't it. Also, as far as on the Judgment Day, I mean, listen. With all this drama that was going on with Finn Balor and JD and Dominic Mysterio, massive win for Roxanne Perez.
Huge win.
I didn't see it coming.
No.
Roxanne Perez and Wade Barrett was talking about it a lot on commentary, that the reality is that Roxanne Perez is a student of wrestling. She grew up a massive wrestling fan and is young.
I mean, did you see the pictures on social media this week of Nikki Bella and a young fan, Roxanne Perez?
Yes.
They were all over the place.
And now it's like, you know, usually the story is, well, this is such a wonderful match because this person who grew up a fan now gets the honor of competing against Nikki Bella.
That wasn't the case tonight whatsoever.
Well, Roxanne Perez is built a little different. For her, the ultimate honor is, no, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. And then I'll be happy.
Well, and then Nikki Bella, she's not coming back to say, oh, you know, you must bow down because I am a Hall of Famer here in WWE. She's looking at what Roxanne Perez did last week, the disrespect that she showed to the Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer. And she's saying, look, on Stephanie's, you know, because I care so much about Stephanie, because I care so much about this women's division, I'm going to put Roxanne Perez in her place.
Yeah, and I think it's not dissimilar to what we were talking about earlier with CM Punk, where Nikki Bella isn't here for a sort of like, you know, like you said, kind of nostalgia run.
Mm-hmm.
You know, isn't here for the bow down to me, I'm a Hall of Famer stuff. I think Nikki Bella wants to test herself in the waters of what is an incredibly, even more so for the women than for the men, what is maybe the most competitive the women's roster has ever been. I mean, if you want evidence of that, look at the tag team championship main event on Monday Night Raw. And the fact that you had Alexa Bliss and Charlotte in one corner and Bayley and Lyra Valkyria in the other corner, and here come the Kabuki Warriors. Like, it's all happening. And I think that that's where Nikki Bella wants to figure out, like, can I still hang on an elite level with a locker room that looks like this? And I think she can. But I think she's finding her spot, and I am really intrigued and love the idea of Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer as a tag team.
I love that as well. I also love how Roxanne Perez, none of these moments that are literal dreams for her that she's living out day to day.
Right.
None of them seem too big. None of them seem like she's just happy to be there. They all seem like she belongs and she's proving herself each and every time.
That's 100% correct. And I think, too, part of it is that, like, it's almost like, yes, these are, like, dream moments, but they're dream moments for Roxanne as a kid. That's not who she is anymore.
That's right.
You know what I mean? She's kind of realized her position and is no longer, I can't believe it, I'm under the big bright lights. It's like, no.
I belong under these lights.
That's right.
Yeah.
These lights were installed
I'm the prodigy.
to shine on me. And I love that. That's a coming of age that I do love to see. But I know I would love to hear your take, because I got to kind of give my take on where I thought Adam Pearce was a little out of line with Dominic Mysterio, and has been for quite some time. And, you know, I've voiced my opinion on that. But I'm very interested, because it's been a hot topic on Raw Recap. And before we get there, because I want to talk to you about Maxine and Adam Pearce and the conversation that was had. But I also want to tell you that there is big news for WWE and sports fans. And that big news is that the world's #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest, is making its return to New York City.
Let's go, baby.
That's right. Fanatics is bringing you closer to the leagues, teams, superstars, and athletes you love across 4 action-packed days in July. 4 days. Maybe you'll be able to meet Maxine Dupree. Maybe she'll be Women's Intercontinental Champion. Meet your favorite WWE superstars. Get your hands on exclusive merch. Catch live podcasts and interact with the biggest names in sports. I have to tell you, I had so much fun at Fanatics Fest this year. I'm absolutely going to be there July 16th through the 19th at the Javits Center next year. I am still kicking myself over the fact that I do not have a John Cena Fanatics Fest exclusive t-shirt from Fanatics Fest this year. I probably think about it at least twice a day. It's something that really bothers me. So when I say there's exclusive merch, there is absolutely exclusive merch that you should take advantage of. Tickets are going to go on sale November 13th, which is a lot sooner than you think. It's like getting close to 2 weeks away. November 13th, tickets are going to go on sale, so mark your calendars and don't miss out. You can get full information at fanaticsfest.com. And of course, if you're a sports and wrestling fan, then you know that the NBA season just sorry, Sam.
Sam fell over.
Little Sam. The NBA season just tipped off, and the
Sam
NBA
just flopped.
Yeah, that was a flop.
That was. There was no charge.
Foul. The NBA has returned to Tops. I don't know if you know this, but the NBA is back at Tops with the launch of the inaugural NBA Tops Now program. Yes. NBA fans can expect the same must-see moments and milestones, incredible photography, and exciting chases that they've come to know and love from WWE Tops Now. And, of course, turn on all those notifications at Tops.com so you can find out when there's new WWE Tops Now cards. I was actually this is for a shoot, just over the weekend. I was going through my Tops Now cards, and it's such a good way of looking at everything that's happened this year. Like, I have it in a little box. These are all the Tops Now cards that I got
is crazy.
in 2025. It's nuts, and it's so fun to look back on. So take advantage of that. But I do want to know what you have to say about the meeting. Maxine Dupree meets with Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce says, look, you got 2 victories over the women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. One by disqualification, one by countout. You know, you're entitled to another Intercontinental Championship match. And Maxine Dupree says, I want it. I can't wait. I'm so honored. I want this more than anything, but I want to make sure that I'm ready for it. I got to call a friend. I got to do what I got to do, but it's not going to take long. I just want to make sure the timing is right. And he goes, okay, then it'll be official when the timing's right. Which I'm very excited for another Maxine Becky Lynch match. And if it's all, listen, when Becky Lynch and Sweet Cheeks, as she used to be known, first had their match, months ago, Becky won as people expected. I think 3 weeks ago when they had a match on Raw, people expected Becky to win, and Becky took her eye off the ball. Obviously, you voiced concerns about certain cadences of certain referees and brought up suspensions and fines, plural, as I pointed out to Maxine last week. And then last week, there was the disqualification. And I think last week people thought Becky was going to win. And there was the disqualification, maybe intentional, where Becky Lynch hit Maxine with the title. I think that the next time Maxine and Becky meet, it'll be the first time where there will be a large chunk of the audience that is saying, I think Maxine might win this one.
Well, it's just interesting to me because I can't remember a time where, we have a general manager being like, well, are you ready for your championship opportunity?
Well, I don't
Since
think
when do these
her.
general managers go and say, oh, we'll do this championship match when you, the challenger, are ready for it? Typically, we see these backstage interactions, a match is made, and then it either happens next week or it happens in the next seg. I mean, you're very familiar with this because your guy, Dominic Mysterio, often gets thrust into matches that he doesn't want to be in because Adam Pearce says that match is happening right now.
He's got a vendetta.
That match is happening this weekend. But Maxine, it's just, oh, let me know when you're ready? Since when are we allowing a challenger the time and flexibility to prepare for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity facing the greatest female wrestler of all time?
Well, I think if you do have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to face the greatest of all time, as you put it, you probably should have the ability to prepare for that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to face the greatest of all time. If
you want your title opportunity, you will take that title opportunity when I give it to you. I don't know why Adam Pearce is conspiring against Becky Lynch.
Because
first of all, we had the referee conspiring against Becky Lynch with the cadence.
Who?
We had the referee conspiring against Becky Lynch with the cadence. Now Adam Pearce is conspiring against Becky Lynch with
his cadence. You thought his cadence was
I was going to
great?
say his cadence, but really, his cadence and giving Maxine this opportunity. Whenever she's ready to have it is when it's going to happen.
Well, because the last two times.
Why does everybody in WWE want to see Becky lose this title?
Well, I think people want Maxine Dupree to get a fair opportunity. And I think the last two times.
She won because the referee
sped
up her cadence.
Who?
Jessica Carr sped up her cadence, and that led to a victory for Maxine Dupree.
Where was Becky Lynch's back pointed towards?
Towards the referee.
But that's not really a sound strategy.
I watched the replay. I saw the cadence.
By the way, I have no doubt that you watched the replay.
Many times.
Oh, I know.
I saw that speed up.
I know. And I believe you. And I believe that there was a speed up in cadence.
Thank you.
I believe that there was
it's a violation of the oath.
The oath?
Yeah, the oath of being a referee in WWE.
What is that oath? I've never heard.
You will never speed up your cadence.
That's in the oath.
It's in the oath.
The count out cadence is in the official's oath.
We're going to have to ask Danilo about this.
Danilo took the oath too? I mean, we're going to try to reach out to Charles Robinson because we had him on the show. He didn't mention an oath. I mean, I know like the mailmen, rain, sleet, snow. I've heard of that oath, but I haven't heard of the referee's oath, and I've been literally watching WWE for decades at this point.
I think that's a real thing, the oath.
All right, well, I guess that's something
But this is bizarre of Adam Pearce, isn't it?
Well, I don't think it's bizarre in this. I think it is. To your point, it doesn't not show favoritism. It doesn't not show favoritism. But look, I do.
So he's not conspiring against Becky
I don't think
Lynch.
it's conspiratorial. I don't think that Becky Lynch has done a huge amount to ingratiate herself to management.
Does she have to at this point?
No, I don't think she should have to. I probably wouldn't want to, but also I wouldn't go out of my way to
When
be.
when you're the greatest to ever do it, you need to politic for yourself backstage. Doesn't her resume speak for itself at this point?
Yeah, but you could be a little humble, a little. You know what I mean? You don't like to just be
What's
overly.
the point of being the best if you're going to be humble about it?
I didn't realize you had that you felt that way. That's really a rude way of being. That's very toxic, actually.
I don't see anything toxic about Becky Lynch's greatness.
Okay, no. I think the greatness is great. I think that being difficult for difficulty's sake, well, it can result in people having feelings.
Well, a lot of people are saying she's great.
Yeah, right. Who?
ESPN,
Just you.
Bleacher Report.
Really? Bleacher Report.
Bleacher
I had no
Report?
idea Bleacher Report was
Bleacher
so.
Report,
Oh,
Sports Illustrated,
really?
all these
That I didn't know, and I apologize for that because I had not
Bleacher
heard that.
Report and Bleacher Report.
I had not heard that both publications had said such nice things. No, look, I think Maxine is also in a unique position though, because she's had multiple opportunities that have been foiled because of things outside of her control. Whether it's Becky Lynch staying outside of the ring for too long, whether it's Becky Lynch hitting her with the title. What are we doing?
Well, I think in order for Becky to leave Sacramento
And by the
as
way,
the champion, maybe this is what she had to do. Maxine was in front of her hometown crowd.
but by the way,
There was a referee who has a history of conspiring against
Who?
Becky Lynch. And Becky had to do what she had to do to ensure she left as champion.
well, Becky probably wouldn't be in this mess if she could just beat Maxine Dupree. If
she
just-
can if there wasn't shenanigans going on.
By
Everybody in WWE
Oh.
who is conspiring against Becky Lynch,
I didn't
Adam
realize.
Pearce included.
I didn't realize. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I misread that situation. I think that
It's interesting because I don't think Adam Pearce, the way he treats Dominic Mysterio, is all that different from the way he's treating Becky Lynch right now. So I think you and I, we're fighting the same battle right now.
I don't know if the way you set your team up is one that I'm like. Regardless, I think that there's a lot of excitement going on because Saturday Night's Main Event's coming up.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that's
Yeah.
more what I think we can agree upon. It really is. When you look at the card on paper, you realize how loaded this thing is. We got a match unfairly, added to the show, but it's still going to be an insane match. So we got World Heavyweight title on the line. CM Punk versus Jey Uso. It's just a crazy thing. Seth Rollins goes down injured at the hands of maybe Cody Rhodes, maybe a little more Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. But now that title is vacated, and either CM Punk or Jey Uso walk out of Saturday Night's Main Event as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And I don't think that was on the bingo card for Saturday Night's Main Event even, a few weeks ago.
Wasn't on mine.
So it's amazing coming out of this. Are you leaning one way or the other?
I'm leaning towards Jey Uso.
I am too. I think CM Punk's underestimating him.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are. I think that a lot of the audience is going like, oh, Jey Uso again, blah, blah. And it's like, well, what if Jey Uso wins? How many championship matches is Jey Uso going to get? Well, what if he wins? Then all of his matches will be championship matches.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Jey Uso for sure. I think he has a similar underdog mentality, but in a different way.
Well, now it's a mean underdog.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now it's not like a...
Before it was, I can't believe I'm here
Right.
type of underdog.
Well, it was a golden retriever before that was kind of nasty to the people who came over the house. Now it's a pit bull. Now I'm hearing that everybody in the control room thinks CM Punk,
Wow.
which I knew that because they're all very rebellious back there. You know what I
they
mean?
are.
They're saying no yeet. Are you guys saying no yeet back there? And Luke is making choking gestures. This is terrible. This is really no wonder Jay thinks the whole world's against him.
I think they're the people on the internet hating on Jay.
They are. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Casey just hit dislike. That's terrible. That's horrible. I can't believe he should be busy. How about the Intercontinental Championship triple threat? Dominic Mysterio, who's also the AAA Mega Campeon, versus Rusev versus Penta. By the way, Penta, they said he's the greatest luchador since Rey Mysterio. He's not the AAA mega champion. Dominic is. And by the way, Rey Mysterio never held that title either.
Well, and Dom says he's the greatest luchador of all time.
I mean, is there any evidence that he isn't?
No.
Okay, so there we go, right?
I have to take Dom in this one.
He's gonna figure it out. As much as you want to get under my skin, as much as you want to rib me a little bit, and I'm fine with it. I think it's fun. There's no way that Dominic doesn't have a plan.
He always does.
Especially in triple threat rules. He is absolutely going to figure out how to take advantage of these triple threat rules.
I think they're going to have to start like tying the bell hammer down or something, though, to prevent Dom from putting it in his boot.
Well, why can't Berkeley just work on his grip? You know what I mean? Like, stop getting your stuff stolen from you. You know what happened when my shoes kept getting stolen at school? My mom made me go to Payless. That taught me. Okay? You know, you got to learn these lessons.
Did she make you walk up and down the aisle to make sure your $22 pair of shoes fit okay?
That's 100% what she did. Yes, she did. And I didn't get them stolen anymore. Number one, nobody wanted them. They were, but number two, I learned my lesson. How about this one? This was a big one. This was a match made on SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill.
Mean Jade Cargill.
WWE champion, WWE Women's Championship. Jade Cargill turns on Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown out of nowhere. I literally thought she was going to start going after Julia for the United States Championship. And then, no, Jade Cargill's like, no, I'd like the WWE Championship. I think that real quick, this already has very different vibes from SummerSlam.
I think Jade's going to beat the crap out of her.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think it's going to be Tiffy time?
No.
Woo! It's going to be a test. It's going to be a test for sure. Tiffy has only lost one time.
Stephanie Vauquer, Crown Jewel.
One time.
That's it.
Yeah, it'd be a shame to backload those losses. I only lost twice. Yeah, but it was kind of,
back to back.
What
have you done for me lately?
There was a big energy about Jade Cargill on SmackDown that was like, this is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, ever since you arrived in WWE, I was looking for that edge.
Yeah.
Saw it on Friday.
A lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it. And then, of course, your WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes defends against Drew McIntyre. I mean, Drew McIntyre is on his streak of telling the truth. Everything he said has been accurate. It even makes me think Jimmy Uso might have attacked Jacob Fatu. But that's a whole conversation for a different day. We've seen this happen before. Cody's back is up against the wall. He finds it in him. Nobody finds it in him the way Cody finds it in him. Is there a world where Drew walks out with the WWE Championship?
Enough!
Whoa! Sorry, Dad.
What is this blasphemy? Drew walking out? Enough of that.
Enough. It's my favorite Codyism.
I know, that's why I said it.
All time. I can't. I just love it so much. And maybe it's because it's exactly how my dad carried himself. Kicking my brother under the table, kicking him. No, you. Enough. And let me tell you, when that enough hit us, we stopped. And Cody has the exact same energy. When that enough hits, it's enough.
I love Drew. I love how truthful Drew has been.
It's Cody.
It's Cody.
Cody is Cody is Cody is Cody. And people like to forget it. People like to go on the internet and pretend it's not true, but it is true. Cody is Cody is Cody is Cody. Wow. We're going to see what happens on Saturday night's main event on Peacock. We're going to see what happens next week on Raw. Already a loaded card being built. Tag Team Championship match. So much to look forward to. We'll be here to recap it. Make sure you're subscribed across audio platforms. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. And we will see you next week here on the Raw Recap.